I'm Ray Holly, and welcome to another session with Linda Live, where you will gain insight and guidance through Linda channeling her spirit guides and speak with your own spirit guides, those who know you best. So let's get started. Here she is, the author and winner of the International Body, Mind, Spirit Book Award for her true life story, Guided. Her spirit guide angels were her best friends and life coaches, Linda Deir. I love it when you do that. That just blows my mind.
Hi, everybody.
Oh.
January 15th, huh? This has been a big day coming. Each week in Linda's weekly guided insights, I ask my guides, what is the most important thing for you to know right now? We channel these insights using Ask the Universal Channel, the same way your guides interact with you in a personal angel coaching session with me. To receive Linda's weekly guided insights, go to my website at lindadeir.com to sign up. Tonight, the guides will be talking about the spiritual meaning of the global market correction. This was published today in Linda's weekly guided insights. And like always, Ray will be monitoring the Facebook feed for your questions and comments. So feel free to speak up and let me know what's on your mind regarding today's insight. Now I will read the excerpt from today's insight, and that is the spiritual meanings of the global market correction. The news about the global market correction is designed to spoil the stock market euphoria. It doesn't look at what's really going on. The news repeats, not reports. Repeating programs the mind rather than informing it. The spiritual meaning of the global market correction is exhibiting a world that is shaky, volatile, and prone to drastic moves on a moment's notice. People who are prone to get caught off guard by sudden movements will respond in panic. They will be facing false expectations and beliefs about a future that will be drastically different than what they expected. These people will be awakened out of their hypnotic trance of greed that supported an overextended lifestyle that became their normal. When they couldn't make enough money, like almost everyone else they were influenced by, they played the stock market. Until a disappointment like this happens, they never considered themselves to be overextended, just supplementing their income or building a retirement nest egg. The spiritual meaning of this event is that the overextended lifestyle is coming to an end. Even if you are not invested in the stock market or living beyond your means, your life will still feel the impact of sudden movements like this, causing various degrees of uncertainty for everyone. All right, Ray, what do we have?
Well, no questions yet. We have
Okay.
Veronica and Joy and Kathy.
Well, they all did their job.
They did their job, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did. You guys left comments on this post on my website for the blogs. And I want to start with Jane. Jane left the first comment. And what she talked about is several months ago, it had to be 6 months ago or so, she had a private session with Ray and I, coaching session, and her guides spoke to her about her situation at that time, the way she was invested in the stock market, what she needed to consider at that time, and how she needed to move things around based on where things were heading, all right? So her guides came through and told her what to do, and that it was important that she moved on it right away because there was going to be a sudden move in the stock market, all right, coming, and that would affect her negatively. And she made that change and that shift, and she followed that advice. She actually acted on it. And she wrote this post about how it worked out really well in her favor and how she continues to stay tuned into her guidance and to us, okay, in this case, to make sure that she isn't exposed to something that's that could be unexpected. Although none of this is unexpected. I have to tell you that we've been in a bubble or a growing stock market, a growing bubble of a stock market and an economy for the last 10 years. That's a long stretch before you have any kind of correction or recession or anything that gets in the way of that, right, Ray?
Depression.
Whatever, before it's interrupted.
Right.
And so, you have to expect that at some point, just like many times before in our lifetimes, we've seen these things happen. So the key to this is you want to be tapped into your guidance. You want to be tuned into your intuition. You want to be connected, not disconnected, okay? And anytime that you're disconnected, you're going to come from fear. You're going to come from doubt. When you're connected, you're going to come from a place where you get quiet and peaceful, and you make that connection, and you reconnect with your guides, and you bring both worlds together, okay? And now you are empowered. That's what the spiritual meaning of any event brings to you. It brings you back your power and your ability to take action and get out of harm's way, all right? That's what this is all about. And it's through your guidance that you have that advantage, all right? Okay, Kathy, you left a comment and you talked about we either make the choices that we are being led to make willingly, or they will be made for us. That's so true. And I got to tell you that when you willingly decide to take action, okay, you bring through that energy, that guidance that you came in with, that's always with you, and you align with it by stepping out of the fear and doubt, all right? And you open up and you write down what they're telling you, what you're feeling, what feels like something that is superior to what you know, okay? Something that you had a dream, or you got the insight when you were driving to work or to the grocery store, or just daydreaming. You got this subtle insight that could literally save your financial house in a situation like this global market correction and how it affects you. Your power in the situation is to make the connection and stay connected, all right? So if you feel like you can't move forward and harness the guidance that's there for you, trying to get through to you, Kathy, start writing. Start using your journal. Start writing in part 3 about what you're feeling, about the guidance you got when you were going to the grocery store, or when you were daydreaming, or when you were taking a shower, or washing your hands, or doing something mindless, driving somewhere a lot of times. And write it in your journal, because your guides haven't gone anywhere. It's only when we go into fear and we don't know what to do and we're confused that we miss it, okay? But when you get in that car and you turn on your great songs you love and you just relax, your guides can come through. Just open that channel, okay? All right, Kathy.
Kathy has a question.
Yeah.
She was wondering if she should cash out of the market in light of the recent movements in the market.
Okay. Now, we don't know how you're positioned, what investments you have or whatever, but your guides know, Kathy. And based on where you are and everything they see about you, because they know you better than anyone else, your spirit guides and angels are here with us now. And they're going to answer that question. And here they go.
Kathy, if you are considering it or worrying about it, there's something there in the guidance. Like your comment said this morning, you either make the decisions yourself or they are made for you. If you have doubt about which way the market will go, then if you took out half your money, you would have a little edge if the market tanks. If it takes off on another long-term run, which we don't see anytime soon, you can always get back in. The third option is cash out, put your money someplace safe, and breathe easier.
Yeah. Based on what they just said, they don't see the stock market getting less volatile. They see it, getting more, right?
Yeah, and a crash, a market crash, all the wordage that's used to describe a market moving down is designed to scare you. It's designed, a crash, it's declining, it's breaking down, all the things you wouldn't want to happen to you.
Or it's telling you to hang in there. It does both. One side will say one thing, one side will say another. So now you're caught in between, like, who do I believe? You know who you believe? You believe this right here, Kathy. You go back to the source. You go back to your guidance, the connection you have. All right. That's what you go back to. And if you feel nervous, I just want you all to know, if you feel nervous about anything, pull back, pull out, okay? So that you can begin to see, if you're an alcoholic, I just have to say it like this. Being sucked into the stock market is like being addicted, all right? You don't think of it like that. You think, well, no, I'm not addicted, Linda. I'm prudent. I've got it. I've got my retirement, and I've got my, and I've been told to do this, and this is how everybody else is doing it. Your logical reasoning mind will argue with this, okay? And this, if it feels stress on it, it moves away from it. It doesn't go into the stress because it can't perform under stress. It can't perform under pressure. It can't reach you when you're under stress and pressure, okay? So how can it work and perform under those conditions? It doesn't. This is guidance. This is who you were before you got here. This is how it really works. This will throw you off track. Sometimes you get lucky, that's about all this is. But over here, you are even. You're not emotional turmoil and letting this consume you, all right? So sometimes you have to just not go to the bar, the alcoholic, the drug addiction or whatever. You just have to cut it all out and just go, okay, I can't see it. I'm so pulled into this that I can't see it. That's when you're really in trouble. That's when the only thing you can do is get away from it, push it away, and get yourself back. Start breathing again. Start doing things that are physically healthy for you again, mentally healthy, spiritually healthy for you again. Sleep better when you're not all caught up in this, all right? I know you do. So once you do that, you automatically, the byproduct of that is the connection to your guides. It's an automatic byproduct, all right? When you make this connection, now you get those answers. When you're driving to the grocery store, when you're sleeping at night, when you're in the shower, when you're washing the clothes or sweeping the floors or whatever the heck you're doing, now it can reach you because you're not consumed by this. So that's the downside. No matter if it goes up or down or what it's doing, there comes a point when it's too risky. What you laid down on the table and what you have left, you can't afford to lose.
Right.
Go ahead, Ray.
And this falls right in line with Joy's question. She's concerned about the money she's been invested for her older years. The economy makes me feel that all I have saved to get me through my golden years will disappear. Do I have to worry about this? It's the same answer. If you are worrying about it or you're thinking about it, then
you're positioned wrong.
Right, exactly.
Right now, at this moment, if you're feeling that, not thinking, I'm not talking about thinking. That's different. That's thinking things goes on over here. I'm talking about feeling it, okay? When you feel that uneasiness, you're too far in.
Right.
Okay, go ahead, Ray.
And the fear is what keeps you in. There's even a word for it.
This.
FOMO. Fear of missing out. People who are
That's an addiction.
Right, that's an addiction. It's fear of missing out. Oh, I've got all my money and I got to do something with it. I got to do something. Well, why don't you save it?
Why don't you slow down and breathe and get your lifestyle, your finances, your cost of living, your life under control. Finally under control. When you finally get your life under control, you get your finances under control, you're back in balance again. It may not look impressive to somebody else, your lifestyle, but you can breathe and you can sleep at night. All right, that's what's important. Now this connection becomes stronger and you're stronger moving forward. You're making more sense. Okay? That's what it is. If you're feeling real nervous, that's from over here, then you're addicted. You're addicted, you're pulled into it, and you can't see it when you're in it. You got to pull it out. You've got to pull out of that and cut it out, okay? And sober up. Now, I'm not talking about you being an alcoholic or a drug addict. I'm saying it's the same euphoria. It's the same feeling. It's the same addiction. It's that same draw and that pulls you in. All right.
It's the gambling addiction.
It totally is.
It's like and
Ray knows this so well.
All the experts. Okay, you hear the market's crashing. Okay, but you hear all the experts on whatever channel you want to listen to. They all start to saying the same thing, and they don't know which way it's going to go. The market can either go three ways: up, down, or sideways. That's it. But when it tends to go down in a panic, it goes down a lot. Markets fall 3 times faster than they go up.
Did you hear that?
3 times faster.
Say that again.
Markets tend to fall 3 times faster than they go up.
That's too much.
That's like an elevator just going. Woof.
If you feel that, if you can't handle that hit financially, if you can't take it, you can't stay in something just because you've been convinced to stay there, just because it's been good for 10 years.
Yeah, or you've been conditioned.
That's what I'm saying.
You've got to have that nest egg for retirement. You've got to be
That's what I mean.
Diversified. You have to be this. The key that'll give it away is when you listen to the talking heads on TV about the finances. They all start to say the same thing. They'll use phrases like, well, we're cautiously optimistic. Well, wait a minute. Which one is it? Are you cautious or are you optimistic?
They're covering their bet.
They are. They're covering. So no matter which way the market goes, I was optimistic, I was cautious.
And okay, so what did Ray listen to? Ray was a day trader for 9 years, right?
Yeah, position trader and a day trader for 9 years.
He managed a $3 million account. All right, it was a family account. And he was, Ray.
I had ulcers.
I know. It was awful. And would you go back into it now?
No, ever.
Never.
I've been out for years. I would not invest in anything.
I know.
And what I see is, and I have people come to me all the time asking me,
I know you do.
Money? Neighbors come to me all the time. I don't tell them, I tell them what I would do. But they're so caught up in the addiction, in the thrill of it,
That's right.
And you hear all these excuses of why you should get back into the market coming on the TV. There's more sellers than buyers. That's why the market's way down. That's impossible.
Here's the whole point. It's something that you can't beat with program trading and what's that called where it's fast trading?
They trade in milliseconds. Program trading.
Program trading, yeah.
You can't beat it.
You can't beat it. It's the computers and the robots and everything and the algorithms have outsmarted the human.
It's not fun anymore.
No, it's not fair. Okay.
And there's never more sellers than buyers. If I want to buy,
wait.
They say, well, it's a down market. It crashed because there's more people selling than buying. No, if I want to buy 10 shares of stock, you have to sell them to me. There's one seller, one buyer. There's never more of either one.
Okay, got it.
You can't.
So what's the point in that?
Well, they say there's more sellers than buyers. That's why the market's down, or the people are pulling their money out of the market and sitting on the sidelines.
That would be the same analogy as real estate.
Right.
You know, if there's it's either a buyer's market or a seller's market type of thing.
Right.
So it's not something that you can beat. Okay, it's something that beats you. So when you feel like you're pushing it too far, you can't afford any losses, you can't afford to make a mistake, get out.
Be the observer.
What it means is you are overextended and you need to become
the observer.
Right.
And just watch what's going on and not give in to the FOMO, the fear of missing out on something. Because what you're missing out on most likely is a big lesson.
Yeah, true. And it's the best thing I've ever felt, you guys, I talk about it in Guided, is when the guides moved me to get out of a situation, get into a situation when the opportunity was there, and get out before it all fell down, before the cards all went down, right? Because ever since we've been in this lifetime, in these baby booming times, I'd say, in our generation mostly, it's been a radical up and down, roller coaster ride. Economically, wouldn't you say, Ray?
Yeah.
It has been for you and for me and everybody. So, this goes back to, centuries. The Roman times. The times when everything, many times in our past, where we're back again, replaying this out again, the merry-go-round, chapter 1. Where we're all on this merry-go-round playing this out again, and we need to get a handle on our greed. That's really what it comes down to. And you guys read the insight. For those of you who have not gotten the insight, sign up for Linda's weekly guided insights on my website at lindadeir.com. And don't miss another one of these, because we're going to have more of these coming out. That the guides are the ones who decide what these insights are going to be based on what you need to be aware of, okay, in your life right now. These are very timely insights. And they just came up with this new segment about spiritual meanings, about what's really going on in your life right now.
The truth about what's happening.
Right.
From a spiritual standpoint.
Right. Not being pulled in over here with I won't have enough, I need more, no, you don't. You do not need more money. You need to
spend less money.
You need to pull out of this mindset, out of this, what's got a hold of you here, okay? This fear and what dominates your thinking, okay? And you need to connect with this. You need to pull out of this so you can start to connect to your guidance and make some solid decisions about your life that means something to you, all right? Not what you're told you need to do, not what you're told how to think, and how in your old age, oh my God, that is all fear, okay? So you need to just kick it right in the bud, and you need to write down what's going on with you so you can grab onto this once and for all. You need to get out of the stock market that you can't afford to be in, because you can't afford to lose that nest egg you have, all right? That's what this is telling you. That's what the guides are telling you in this session today.
If you're worried about it, it's guidance.
It's guidance. You are so right. Okay, what do we have, Ray?
Let's see. Anybody else got all their money in the market?
I hope not.
I hope not.
The guides hope not.
Thank you, Joy. I was not worried about it, as I was invested years ago, but I got a year-end statement where I lost $23,000 in the past year. Wow.
That's a sign. Do we have anything else, Ray?
No.
Okay, nothing else. All
That's
right.
it.
Okay, so Veronica's the last one, and I'm going to cover it real quickly, Veronica, because we're getting to the end of this tonight. Okay, I look forward to writing down down about my financial situation. Last month, I got the guidance to live like a gypsy. All right. And what Veronica did is she pulled back on her expenditures. She started looking at where her money was going each month, and she started to plug the holes. Like, I don't even use that subscription anymore. I don't even want that anymore. If you're not paying, if every bill that you pay each month doesn't make you happy, then you need to get rid of that bill. You don't have debt, and those bills are not yours, okay? Those bills are something you agreed to for a certain period of time. If all of a sudden you don't like that bill anymore, you don't like the return on your investment when you pay that bill, get rid of it. Cancel the subscription, end the contract, sell the car, do whatever it takes, but get out from underneath the things that keep you confused and thrown off track and pulled into this, sucked in.
It's a consumption addiction.
A consumption addiction, right. And get back to you, to who you are with this connection with your guides, all right? Because they will never let you down. They will always point you in the right direction, and you have more choices and options than you ever thought you did. All right. All right, so where are we, Ray?
No more questions.
Okay, so we're going to move on here. So before the guides bring through their closing message for today's insight, we want to let you know about next Tuesday, January 22nd. Join Linda Live on Facebook. This will be a Q&A and commentary with Linda and her guides at 6 p.m. Pacific, so don't miss it. The guides will be talking about the spiritual meaning of building the wall. There's much talk about building a wall on the southern border of the United States. This is a heated debate with the arguments of both pro and con, with many facets to consider. Everybody agrees it would be expensive and would take time to build, but the debate is over the effectiveness of building the wall. The news about building the wall. What is really being considered is not a wall, but a barrier. A wall is less intimidating than a barrier. Barriers keep things out. Going back thousands of centuries, people built barriers made of stone to keep their enemies out. A wall or barrier has two sides, so it also keeps people in. If you consider the greatest walls ever built, like the Great Wall of China, people still got in and out. The spiritual meaning of building the wall or a barrier is limitations. You can build all kinds of limitations around a physical area or around your heart. Anybody can see that you can go around it, over it, and even under it, either physically or by other mechanical means. Walls are only static barriers. The illusion of separateness. The illusion of separateness. Okay. So this thing with the wall and how we wall ourselves off. Everybody has done it in some way, in some form, where they feel safe. They feel protected. They feel removed from the problem. You are never separate in this world. Everyone is one. Yeah. Even though it seems like we're separate, fend for yourself, that type of mentality. Build a house, and then the house isn't good enough. Now you need walls around your house. Okay, so this insecurity persists because we know in our hearts, we know something is wrong. And what we know is wrong is that the connection has been broken. This connection to our guidance, this connection to ourselves. disconnection with each other. All right. Until that is solved, until that is healed, this won't be fixed. The wall is a temporary, static
Barrier.
That's all it is. It pretends to take care of a problem that society forgot how to fix. And the thing that society forgot how to fix is a soul-to-soul connection with each other. That's where we're missing it, you guys.
Right.
All right? So until we understand that, we get down to the real problem, will we find the solution? All right?
Okay.
So that's what next week's about. So tonight what we're going to do is close the session with the closing message from the guides about the spiritual meanings of the global market correction. And here they go.
You must remember that the news is not going to explain spiritual meanings. The news is designed to, one, get your attention and instill fear. Now, the second part of the news is the solution to your fear is in the news story itself, depending on who's talking or whose side is putting forth their solution. So, regardless of who's got the best solution, they are both preying on somebody's fears.
So bottom line is they don't know either, all right? And they're all paid to do their job, okay? And whatever broadcast they're working for, they've got to pull in revenue. They've got to get advertisers. They've got to get all this hype going and get your attention. Oh, the drug commercials, forgot about those.
Oh, yeah.
They always seem to pop up around the news. You notice that?
I saw a new one last night. It was for ITS. Did you know what ITS is?
No.
Itchy teeth syndrome.
Ray made that one up, you guys. Oh, so we have to breathe, we have to laugh, so we can reconnect, okay, to that guidance that tells us the truth. Not from out there, not broadcasted and screamed at you, but quietly and gently. It comes through, and you know it's true. It came through you, all right? Next week, you guys, next Tuesday, we'll see you about the spiritual meanings of building the wall.
Building all kinds of walls.
Don't miss it.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Good night.